What if the secret to a long and meaningful life was really not about money, career, or success, but something that you've never heard of? It would be cool, right? You see, for some reason, and just like many of us, I've always been fascinated by the Japanese concepts and culture. And if you compare our life as Europeans or Americans, we tend to wake up tired and motivated. We tend to follow the steps of a career that most of the time was drawn upon us, while completely forgetting about that one thing that unlocks happiness and the secret to living a long and happy life. On the other side of the globe lives a population on a southern island of Japan called Okinawa. There they live happily, and they are known to be part of one of the few blue zones of the world, meaning they are part of the oldest people on Earth. And I'm Sasha. I'm a 25 years old veterinarian and content creator. Or if I may, I'd like to say that I'm a thinker. And as I said, as I was looking more and more about Japanese culture, I encountered a concept that has yet completely changed the way I see my life. It is called Ikigai. And today we're reviewing this concept based on Ikigai, the book from Héctor García and Francesc Miralles. I mean, let's look at the fact, and we can't change that. We live in a Western culture where hustle culture and this cycle of work, metro, sleep is on repeat. If you ask the people around you or in the street or in your family, very few of them are going to tell you that they feel driven, that they are not tired, that they feel fantastic during their days, or that they truly have this sense of purpose. You see the same people stuck in a routine that doesn't really convince them. They wake up tired, they fall asleep stressed and overwhelmed, and then they wake up the next day repeating this exact same pattern because they have a financial burden and pressure that is forcing them to do so, not because they really have something they are thriving for. It is curious to know that most of us go through life without questioning at any moment what their life purpose is, what we were here for. In fact, many people live throughout their whole life without questioning a single second what their own Ikigai is. Héctor García and Francesc Miralles conducted over 100 interviews with the goal of understanding the secrets to longevity. They found out this incredible fact that people always wake up with a purpose in Okinawa even after living for over 100 years old for most of them. And you might be wondering how. Well, I was too. So I tried to look deeper into that topic. Before clearly defining what an Ikigai is, let's paint the picture of this 100 years old elderly woman living in Okinawa. She officially retired a couple of years ago, and today she's just getting up from her bed. After practicing her routine, she goes out and starts taking care of her little garden, while smiling to friends and neighbors. She indulges in physical activities, a daily routine that she repeats almost every day of her life. On the other side, let's paint the picture of a 70-ish years old elderly woman from our Western culture. She is retired because society told her so. Now all she is left with is mainly inactivity. She is sitting all day long in front of her TV or the news, and she does so until the moon appears and that she can go to bed before starting again tomorrow. While running their interviews, the authors of Ikigai found that the main secrets from a long, happy, and healthy life were laying in 5 main principles. First, the people at Okinawa live without worrying too much. Many of us in the Western culture live through stress and anxiety, and to be honest, I'm one of them. While we could blame it all on our jobs and situations, I believe that the real problem is how we evolved in our emotions, control, and reactions. Second of all, the people at Okinawa implement positive daily habits in their life. They live in the present moment through daily actions, daily activities that bring them joy and fulfillment. If we take the example of this 100 years old grandma living in Okinawa, for her it would be taking care of her garden. If we would like to take another example that is more familiar to you, maybe the creator of Ghibli Studio. While he officially retired, he returned back to his office to keep on drawing because that is what brought joy and fulfillment to his life. They also feed and nurture friendship. The people of Okinawa all shared a very deep, profound importance of friendship, but not even friendship. They nurtured all type of relationship, cherished the people they love and who love them back. On their quest to learn more about longevity and a happy life from the people of Okinawa, the authors quickly came in front of a Japanese principle that is the basic fundamental of the 5 pillars of a long, happy and fulfilled life that we just cited, the Ikigai. Iki translate as to live, Gai translate as reason, and if we would literally about to translate this concept, it would be raison d'être in French or life's purpose in English. The literal definition from the book is that your Ikigai is found at the intersection of 5 circles. What you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Now you might be wondering how you could find your own Ikigai that meets all of these criterias. I mean, most of us will probably even stress about it. There might be something that you are good at or that you love doing, but for which you probably won't get paid or that won't fill the world's needs. That is exactly the reason why I wanted to look deeper into the definition of an Ikigai and found a rather simpler yet more realistic definition of that Japanese concept. Your Ikigai is whatever brings you joy and fulfillment while doing it. That is going to help you, your future, or others. It took me approximately the first 19 years of my life to find my own Ikigai, to find what I really love doing and what really made me lose track of time. So please don't stress if you haven't found yours yet. Let's try to guide you step by step on how you could find your own Ikigai. Have you ever been so absorbed by something that you completely lost track of time? Maybe you were coding, cooking, training your dog, and suddenly hours had passed. That is not just focus, this is called a flow state. And according to the book Ikigai, flow is one of the secret ingredients to living a fulfilling, happy and long life. But here is the twist, flow and Ikigai aren't just related, they feed each other. As we said, the Ikigai is the reason you get up in the morning. It sits at the crossroad of 4 things, the 4 things that we just talked about, what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for. When you find that sweet spot, you're not just living with purpose, you're building a life where flow becomes default mode. Think about it, when you are doing something in your life, something that you are quite skilled at and that you truly enjoy. You're not bored, you're not overwhelmed, you're just completely immersed in that task. The external rewards such as money, status, or fame completely fade in the background. What's left is intrinsic motivation and the pure inherent joy of doing that task. That's why the people in Okinawa describe their daily life as filled with many tasks that absorb them completely. Whether it's gardening, teaching, crafting, or practicing a traditional art, they've completely shaped their days around activities that truly light them up from the inside. And that's what you truly have to find for yourself. Here is what makes it really powerful. Your flow strengthens your Ikigai, and your Ikigai makes it easier to enter flow. Each time you experience flow in a certain domain, it improves your skill, deepens your identity, and strengthens the belief of this is what I'm meant to do. Over time, these flow-rich activities become the pillars of your life meaning, and conversely, when you organize your life around your life meaning and purpose, thus your Ikigai, then you create more opportunities to step in that flow effortlessly. And you really don't have to wait for some grand calling event to feel it. In the book, the authors highlight the idea of microflow to describe these small moments of deep engagement that happen in our ordinary life. Cooking, cleaning, taking care of your plants, writing, training animals. When done with attention and care, they can bring the same feeling of timelessness and joy as painting a masterpiece or performing on stage. So think of it like this. Ikigai gives you the why and flow gives you the how. Purpose fuels engagement, and engagement nourishes purpose. So if you're curious about finding your own Ikigai, start by paying attention to these activities that make you lose track of time. It might be hiding behind them. Now, by presenting the 5 pillars of Ikigai, what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for, I might have blurred out a little bit your quest of finding your own life purpose. As mentioned earlier in the video, your Ikigai doesn't have to be part of these 4 circles. It just have to bring you joy and fulfillment while doing the task itself. If your Ikigai is to grow this little garden at your place and to take care of it every single day, then so be it. If your life's purpose, your Ikigai, is to go during your weekends and help at that pet shelter, then so be it. And you probably won't get paid for this, that's fine. I would say forget about the money, forget about focusing on what the world really needs, and focus on what really lights you up from the inside while doing or thinking about this task. If you want to find out your own Ikigai, take a sheet of paper and write down a list of 5 to 10 activities that you enjoy doing. Anything. Having a clean space, growing that little garden that we talked about, learning more about the stars and astronomy, whatever. From that list, try to highlight at least 3 of these activities that you do most often, or the one that brought the most positive feelings to your mind right now when you just wrote it. Remember that finding your own Ikigai is not really a goal, it's more of a practice. So it's fine if you have to try different things before finding this one thing that is lighting up your life. In today's society, what is hard is to find your own life's purpose, the one that really lights you up from the inside while facing endless opportunities and choices. To narrow down the list that you just did, or to narrow down all the choices that you may face while trying to find your Ikigai, just remember that it should be something you control, not something that controls you. Just mentioning this because watching Netflix, taking drugs, doom scrolling, or becoming an influencer and having hundreds and thousands of views on social medias, even though it brings you joy and fulfillment for a short period of time, this is not an Ikigai. Finding your own Ikigai, your own raison d'être, life purpose, is completely opposite to today's society way of living. The quick and easy tool that we have access to gain pleasure, such as doom scrolling, binge watching videos. Your Ikigai is a very slow process that is very simple, but that needs to be repeated every single day or weeks for a month over the course of your life. You might not even be good at it when you start for the first time ever, but you still enjoy it, you still feel that fire that is lit inside of you. Thus, why I disagree with one of the 4 circles of the Ikigai book, do what you're good at. Whenever I started making videos, they honestly looked terrible. No color grading, no cool angles, no cinematic, no storytelling. It was just a fade sequence of clips all put together. Yet I still enjoyed it, even though I really sucked at it. So you might be really bad when trying the guitar for the first time, or you might really don't know how to draw whenever you're gonna draw your first lines. So be it. Time and repeated actions will guide you to greatness. And yet on this first day where you took your first step in that activity where you really sucked at, might lay your life purpose, your own Ikigai. Also remember that finding your Ikigai is a present moment thing, in the way that it is influenced by your life, your mindset, and your environment. And these things can change over time, and changing your Ikigai is totally acceptable. The main goal is not to become the master of everything that you start in your life. It is to wake up every single day with that little fire that is burning inside of you and making you drive through the highway of life. To put it simply, something that brings you joy and fulfillment every single day for the rest of your life. Alright, this is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this concept as much as I enjoyed discovering and sharing it on this channel. Feel free to subscribe and let me know down below in the comments your thoughts about all of this. And I will meet you in the next one. Bye bye.